So Rose McGowan has put Oprah on blast. Rose recently called out Oprah on Twitter over her past associations.
Over her past connections with certain controversial individuals. You know how it is in the entertainment industry. Sometimes it feels like only the smaller players are airing their grievances, and even then, it doesn't always attract much attention. However, it seems like even the big names are tired of all the drama lately and are ready to spill the tea. And who's supposedly stirring up the pot this time? None other than Jamie Foxx himself. Word on the street is that he's not holding back and has some major gossip to share. We're talking A-listers like Oprah Winfrey and Sidney Poitier being dragged into the mix. These aren't just any names, they're practically Hollywood royalty. So, if someone is going to start spreading rumors about them, you better believe there's going to be some serious fallout. But Jamie Foxx isn't backing down. Rumor has it he's about to reveal some scandalous claims. Apparently, he's gearing up to spill the beans about Oprah allegedly hiring him as Sidney Poitier's gay for pay. It sounds crazy, right? I mean, we've heard whispers about Oprah's shady side before, but bringing Sidney Poitier into it takes it to a whole new level of scandal. What exactly is Jamie Foxx on about, and how do these iconic figures fit into the drama? Let's dive into it. Oprah Winfrey, as we all know, is basically a living legend. But there's this whole other side to her that's been flying under the radar. Sure, she's dipped her toes into some policy debates and all that, but there's this deeper, darker layer to the controversies surrounding her. That's why when Jamie Foxx hinted at dropping a bombshell revelation about her, the internet went into full-on frenzy mode. People couldn't wrap their heads around how she could possibly be connected to setting him up with Sidney Poitier of all people. But here's where it gets interesting. There's actually some substance to Jamie's claim. I mean, Jamie Foxx is practically an entertainment institution by now. He's got an Oscar, a Grammy, and even a best-selling memoir to his name. So, when he sat down for a chat with Access Hollywood's Scott Evans recently, he dropped a little nugget of wisdom about how his career almost took a completely different path thanks to none other than Oprah Winfrey herself. In 2005, Jamie Foxx found himself basking in the glow of his acclaimed portrayal of Ray Charles in the biopic Ray, which earned him an Academy Award for Best Actor. However, amidst the celebrations, his penchant for non-stop partying caught the attention of none other than Oprah Winfrey. Thinking Oprah was just looking out for his best interest, Jamie Foxx soon found out she had some sneaky plans up her sleeve. She made a pivotal call, summoning Foxx to a meeting at the home of legendary record producer Quincy Jones. Little did Foxx know, this was no ordinary hangout session. It was an impromptu intervention aimed at shaking him out of his party-centric mindset. With Quincy Jones channeling his trademark no-nonsense demeanor, the gravity of the situation became clear. Foxx recounts the moment vividly, remembering the blunt yet impactful words delivered by Jones. "You've done a great job on Ray, but you've messed everything else up. Now you've got to buckle down, baby." But the intervention didn't stop there. Winfrey had another surprise up her sleeve. She introduced Foxx to none other than Sidney Poitier, a living legend in the world of cinema. Poitier's presence added a weighty significance to the occasion. His words cut straight to the heart of the matter, leaving Foxx deeply moved. He recalls Poitier's solemn declaration, "When I watched your performance, it made me grow artistically in a way. And I give something to you. I give you responsibility that, from now on throughout your career, you'll be responsible for what you give and what you show." It was a wake-up call for him. He took Poitier's words to heart, striving to live up to that responsibility ever since. Now, while on the surface, it all sounds like sage advice and mentorship, some fans have begun to wonder if there was more to it, especially considering the lineup at Quincy Jones's place. Sidney Poitier, a paragon of virtue, offered words of wisdom without any hidden agenda. But Quincy Jones, well, let's just say he's got a colorful reputation. Rumors about him abound, and fans can't help but speculate if there was something more going on behind the scenes. When it comes to Sidney Poitier, sure, he might not have been tangled up in any gay controversies, but that doesn't mean he was completely free from drama. Rumors about his temper have been floating around for ages. You see, folks who've known him since his early days as a stage actor in New York, like Ruby Dee and Ossie Davis, have seen a different side of him. Ruby Dee once said, "Sidney is like a smoldering flame that you never know will ignite and burn down the house." He's got this capacity for explosions that's just mind-blowing. It's like he's possessed. And Ossie Davis chimed in, saying that dealing with that temper in Hollywood feels like being in a prison he wouldn't wish on anyone. Now, Sidney himself doesn't exactly love talking about his temper, but he's admitted that he's got his demons to deal with. He describes his relationship with them as perfect, though. Why? Well, because he knows when to let them loose and when to keep them in check. He knows that keeping those demons under control is his biggest job because, in his own words, they're seismic. And if that wasn't enough drama, there's also the whole FBI investigation thing. Yep, you heard that right. The FBI had their eyes on Sidney practically his whole career. It's like he had a permanent spot on their watch list or something. Now, if you're even a little into Hollywood vibes, you've got to know Quincy Jones. He's the real deal. We're talking legendary producer, musician, songwriter, the whole shebang. They even call him the Black Godfather of the industry, and for good reason. Quincy's track record is a who's who of the music scene: Frank Sinatra, Aretha Franklin, Rufus and Chaka Khan, and oh, the king himself, Michael Jackson. But why is he always making headlines? Well, it's not just the music magic. There's something about Quincy that's kept him in the spotlight for decades. There's always been this speculation about Quincy's sex preference, with some wild claims that he sort of nudged guys into gay relationships to boost their Hollywood game. I know, sounds scandalous, right? And the list of supposed flings linked to Quincy is like an endless scroll. But if we're talking about the juiciest bits, two names always take the spotlight in Quincy Jones's romantic saga: none other than Tupac and the Fresh Prince himself, Will Smith. Word on the street is that Quincy Jones might have pushed them into his own version of Hollywood sleepovers. It's this kind of murky connection with Quincy that apparently left a mark, with whispers that he was trying to, share his preferences. Now, flashback to this interview with Tupac. The guy spilled the beans, claiming Quincy popped the question about some, intimate backside matters. But here's where it gets wild. That interview? Poof, gone from the entire internet. Like vanished. Conspiracy or not, it takes some serious clout to wipe out a chat like that. And since Tupac's not around to give us the 411, Quincy seems to have pulled a Houdini on the whole situation, leaving us to connect the dots. Even Napoleon, when grilled about the supposed link between Tupac and Quincy, straight up shut it down in an interview. Dude denied the whole shebang and went into full-on defense mode for Jones. But you know how it goes: some folks out there still have a memory like a steel trap, and they're holding on to every word Tupac spilled in that interview, no matter how hard anyone tries to sweep it under the Hollywood rug. And this is not the first time Tupac expressed his frustration with Quincy about his nasty actions. Back in the day, Tupac didn't hold back on venting about a bunch of folks in an interview, and Quincy Jones was on the receiving end of some seriously bold remarks. Now, considering how tight Tupac and Quincy were during Tupac's career, there's speculation that Quincy might have tried pulling some moves on him, if you catch my drift. They were so chummy that Tupac was even thinking about ditching Death Row Records for Quincy's label before his untimely exit. Now, connect the dots: if Quincy made those moves on Tupac, can we really believe Jamie Foxx got a pass? Doubtful. Also, maybe Sidney Poitier must have also played a role, since they're all friends. That might be why Fox decided to spill the tea on both Sidney and Oprah. Now, here's where it gets wild. Questioning if Oprah had a hand in Quincy taking a liking to Fox might feel skeptical, but hold on. This is not Oprah's first rodeo when it comes to being in the mix of some messy situations. Remember that British actress Katie Ann Noble? Well, she dropped a bomb claiming Oprah was basically in cahoots with Harvey Weinstein's not-so-great exploits. According to Katie, she was wowed when she first met Weinstein at a London event where he was chilling with supermodel Naomi Campbell, and to top it off, Oprah was hanging off his arm like they were the ultimate trio. She spilled the beans in a teary press conference in Manhattan to discuss. Here's where it gets wild: that interview. Poof, gone from the entire internet. Vanished. Conspiracy or not, it takes some serious clout to wipe out a chat like that. And since Tupac's not around to give us the 411, Quincy seems to have pulled a Houdini on the whole situation, leaving us to connect the dots. Even Napoleon, when grilled about the supposed link between Tupac and Quincy, straight up shut it down in an interview. Dude denied the whole shebang and went into full-on defense mode for Jones. But you know how it goes, some folks out there still have a memory like a steel trap, and they're holding on to every word Tupac spilled in that interview, no matter how hard anyone tries to sweep it under the Hollywood rug. And this is not the first time Tupac expressed his frustration with Quincy about his nasty actions.